This is Destination Newry. He is Damien McCullough. I am Rowan Hand. They were NI21. It was the most amazing own goal. The most amazing goal since that wonderful goal in the second half on Sunday last that pulled the fat from the Down fire.
Rowan, all I can say, there was 3 or 4 goals scored last weekend in Omagh. But I never seen anything like the goal that was scored last night, and that's as much as I want to say about that.
I think you're very wise, because there's all kinds of things flooding around. There are all kinds of birds high, hovering and circling in the firmament about NI21. And the only thing I say about it is, I interviewed yesterday that woman, their candidate for Europe, Tina Mackenzie. She was very, very impressive, rose above the whole thing, distanced herself from it last night, and remained within the party for a long, I don't know. So really, go out today and vote for Tina Mackenzie. I'm a bit late telling them to do that, am I?
Rowan, I'm going to rise above all this.
Yeah, you're going to take us to the real world.
I'm going to take you to the real world.
Yeah. Have you got your ticket? First of all, have you got your ticket?
No, I don't have my ticket.
You've been told on those signs on the Point Road, ticket only event. Get your ticket from the Down County Board. Will everybody who wants a ticket get a ticket?
Oh, yeah.
Safe enough?
Safe enough. There's no problem getting tickets. You know, the tickets will be grand. It's all roads this weekend. You know, they head to Park Esler. I see the teams, no mention on any of the teams yet.
James is deliberately keeping it close to his chest. He was mentioning that to me last evening. He said that it was very important. It's a stratagem, really. A stratagem will win the game on Saturday.
Well, I would be sort of considering if he was giving you the team sheet, Rowan,
the
whole thing would have been.
He wasn't giving it to me. He was asking me for advice on it.
That's what I mean.
He said, Rowan, you, like D. Rafferty, trod the hallowed turf of the marshes in the days before Park Esler, and I would value any little bit of guidance you might choose to give, because I'm old and sage-like at the moment.
Well, there's no doubt. And you have.
Sorry you so readily agreed there.
No, to be serious.
Yes.
On Saturday night.
Just watch Embassy. Look.
Yeah, you've gone all serious now. So, can Down beat Tyrone?
Yes.
The lineups are going to be so important, you know.
We
all know the Tyrone midfield are poor.
Yes.
We know that they're a wee bit leaky in the back.
Well, they hammered Down's midfield in the first half of the match on Sunday.
But the way I looked at how Down played on Sunday, to me, the Down have a sort of a philosophy that we are an attacking, we're an expressive team. It's probably in their psychic somewhere, and that's what they like to do. So once they decided, okay, lads, we'll have to go for this. And McCartan was brave again in his decisions at half time and absolutely changed the whole game. So what do Down do? Do Down defend in numbers or do they attack? And I would say that, you know, the best form to win a game is attack. Obviously you have to be tight enough, because Tyrone will have learned a whole lot. Yeah. But then so will Down. Down have experienced players on the field as well, and they've nippy forwards. So it's going to be, I'll tell you what it is, it's going to be the pick of the game.
Absolutely.
I mean, Darren Donegal's playing on Sunday, and all the talk is about the big game on Saturday night.
Our game. But listen to me, Down would have been savagely disadvantaged, hammered even, if the half-back line hadn't stepped up to the mark in that first half and pulled the bacon from the fire, took the bacon home, pulled the fat from the fire, and actually took over where the midfield was letting down.
But you see,
the three of the half-back line became the 2 of the midfield.
Yeah, well, you see, what he actually done was he put McKernan into the midfield, brought Benny Coulter on, and Benny's, he wouldn't have the legs of the younger boys, but what he has is a class player, has the brains and the knowledge and the passing. So he sort of controlled the middle of the field. McKernan done all the hard work, and he pushed the ball in. Obviously, the 2 Johnsons coming in was a huge benefit to Down. And then with Lavery up front and Lavery running, because Lavery, the only way I can describe Lavery, he's like a bee in a jam pack.
Yeah.
He never stops.
Yeah.
And he would be one of the, I would just hate to be marking him, because he knows everything, he does everything. Like for a wee man of about 8.5 stone, he put Sean Kavanagh down like a sack of a sack of spuds. Now, Kavanagh went to the ground very easy.
Yeah.
The other question then is about the goalkeeper. What happened to the goalkeeper? And we talked about this, and we had discussions with Tyrone men and everything about it. If the black card hadn't been in, could Morgan have been red carded? And when I look back at it, he intentionally raised his knee to stop the down man. So it could have been. He was lucky enough to get the black card. He'll be back in on Sunday or Saturday night. And they all say that he's the linchpin, he's the quarterback of the Tyrone team. And that his kickouts would be dictating a whole lot. Well, if they can't get the ball in the middle of the field, and Tyrone have had this problem since like 2003, 2004, and they still have the problem in the midfield. So it's going to be an interesting one. And I always say, and Damien Rafferty would agree with me, a team that wins midfield is a nearly 90% chance of winning the game.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's how I look at it, you know.
But then if you're losing out in midfield, if there's the intelligence, the athleticism to know, the athletic intelligence to know that if you're losing at midfield, then your halfbacks, your backline's going to drop the ball. You eliminate midfield completely, and you get that ball far up with the high and the long.
Yes, but you see, Tyrone did do that for years. They operated without a midfield. But the way the game has progressed since that, and with teams packing defences, the only way to beat them is get the ball, deliver the quick pass in. And I still think the quickest way to beat the packed defences, the quickest way to beat anything is the long pass. Too much hand passing in the game, direct football.
Yeah.
And I know what Down done last week, they left a couple of men up front. And if you have Lavery up front, the way he moves, his movement is unbelievable. I mean, one minute he's here, and the next minute he's way over there, and the next minute he's way somewhere else. He never stops. He's on the move all the time. So it'll be an interesting. The team selection is going to be so crucial. You know, they'll probably keep Benny for the second half. I don't know. It's just going to be. It's going to be very, very exciting.
Now the fellows here in today's Irish News, we have Danny talking about it as well. Of course, we have other fellows now. Niall McKeever of Antrim. He has a view on it, and he's saying he believes. Well, you keep.
No, you keep. No.
Well, I'll tell you now. Who do you think Niall McKeever of Antrim would go for, Down or Tyrone?
Well, he's an Antrim man, so he'd probably go for Down.
He's gone for Down. You're right. That's one down. Now, Anthony McGrath, who is the Queen's University manager, who will he go for?
Well, he has to go for Down.
He goes for Tyrone. Sorry about that. Now we're going to Ryan Jones of Fermanagh.
He'd probably go for Tyrone.
No, he's going for Down.
You've got me at a disadvantage because I've read all them. I've read all them, Rowan, and just didn't pass.
Now, hold on. There's no way you can tell, really. And then Ryan Murphy of Antrim. Who does he go for?
Well, it's part of Antrim and Belfast is in Down.
Yeah, he's going for Down.
Yeah, he has to.
He's going for Down. Well done. Now we have Conleth Gilligan, ex-Derry footballer. Who's he going to go for?
Oh, I wish he's playing for Armagh. He's some footballer. I would say he could be going for Down. Go for Tyrone. Well, there you go.
He's going for Tyrone. Then Marty McGrath, ex-Fermanagh footballer. Who's he going for?
Hold, give me a coin. I'd say Tyrone.
Tyrone, you've got it. Yes, he's going for Tyrone. Yeah. Stevie MacDonald, he's from Armagh. You know this fellow, don't you?
I sort of remember him all right.
Yeah. Benny Coulter. Now he's going to. Both teams will be great. Have a great. Who's he? Who does he build?
Stevie.
Yeah.
I would say Stevie go for Down.
He is. Yes, he's going for Down.
Without doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Ryan Bell of Derry.
Down. You see again, but these are going on geographical locations where these guys come out of. You know, look, over the two games, Ron, the best team wins over the two games, whether it's Down or Tyrone. There's no question about it. Statistics prove that over the time, the best team over the two games wins it. Oh, yeah. But it's not the only big.
But the winner on Saturday night in the Marshes is going to be the winner. I reckon Saturday night's winner will go out of Ulster.
I can tell you now, Monaghan would prefer Tyrone.
Yeah. Oh, they would.
You know?
They would.
They play Tyrone, so. Yeah. But there's more happening Saturday night, Ron. The European Cup finals on, and it's sort of clashing with this game.
Clashes with
well,
us
it is
on
because
Saturday night.
you know you have the two Madrid teams playing in the Champions League final. I don't think it's ever happened before, and you have Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid. So the neutrals.
Yeah,
they'll all go for the Atletico, you know, and they've won the Spanish league, so they are some team. And I still love Real Madrid. I love Ronaldo. I just think he's super footballer. So I'll go with them for the European final.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, Donegal and Derry, big game.
Why do I sense you're winding me up here? Well, you're bringing this to a conclusion.
Of course, no, I'm only starting.
Oh, that's good. Thanks for the goodness for that.
I'm only starting. So you have that one coming up, and you know there's a lot of people saying Donegal. I thought saying Neil Lennon had resigned or stopped, quit from Celtic, which is probably a good move because he can't go any further. And I goes okay, so this looks good. Lennon's stepping down. He's stepping down. He's picking
Okay.
a new. He's picking a new manager. The new manager is
Okay.
Jimmy McGuinness. So I thought, right, Jimmy McGuinness is going to be managing Celtic. So he's not going to be too much worried about what's happening on Sunday night.
No, he's not.
So, but I don't know. Larson's probably going to get that job in Celtic.
Yeah.
So back to Celtic Park.
Yeah. Who's going to win the Eurovision Song Contest?
Well, it's over.
Oh God,
The
I
next
didn't
one.
realize
I don't know who's
that.
going to win it next year. I don't know who's going to win the Euro elections. I haven't a clue.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'll tell you who I think's going to win the European Cup.
Go
I
for it.
think I'm going to say I'm going to go for Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
Donegal and Derry and Celtic Park on Sunday. It's going to be a cracking game of football. I know Derry did a bit of a tanking with Dublin, but I would say Derry has learned a whole lot. Donegal, you know what you see is, you know, that old paint, you know, what you see on the tin is what you get on the tin.
Get on it.
I don't think Donegal can change much. With McHugh stepping away from it, didn't seem to be enjoying the football. I just think maybe Jimmy's invincibility has started to crumble a wee bit.
Yeah.
And I have a sneaking feeling for Derry. I just have a sneaking feeling for Derry this year in Ulster. Just there's something about them.
Yeah.
And they come up out of Division 2.
Even triumphing over Darien, perhaps.
Yes, I just there's just something about the way Derry has gone about their business. But look, you know, Ulster football is a lottery run. You don't know, like, you know, any of them can. Any team in Ulster can win the Ulster, bar maybe Antrim and Fermanagh.
That's
You
the
know,
way, that's
but
the way
it's going to be a cracking game in Derry. I absolutely think it's going to be a super game of football. And then, of course, then the hurling, you have Cork.
Oh, she was only, yeah.
They're stepping up to the plate, and I can tell you. Oh yeah, and then the Heineken Cup final.
Yes. Many
And-
people. Many pints will they have to drink to win?
Well, you know, I don't know. I just don't know because I really don't drink. Don't like pints.
No, nor do
Don't
I.
like pints. But I love rugby. And I'll tell you, when you sit and watch rugby and you say to yourself, them's men.
Yeah.
You know, and what I love about rugby, they take the hits.
Yeah.
The referee says, step back, guys. Quiet. I make the call. And the biggest man, 6'10",
Says
he
yes.
just
Yes, sir.
dead on, sir.
Yes, sir.
And then you
Yeah.
go and you look at the soccer, and you see about 22 men running around the
I
referee.
run yapping like I was going to say something Joe Brawley-ish there, but I won't.
Oh well, Joe got himself into a bit of a
He
pickle.
did.
He got
Do
himself.
you really think there are Baywatch bimbos? Is Sky actually putting women in to titillate the interest of men?
You know, I think
That's what
Bradley.
Joe
no,
said.
But I think, you know, if you know Joe, Joe just said it in a.
He wouldn't have meant any
no,
harm
it was
by
no, it was no, and people need to, you know, they need to sort of
Loosen
chill
up
out
a
a wee
bit,
bit.
aye.
It's not about. I don't think he was personally getting it at
Well,
anybody's guy. I just thought it was Joe trying to be funny, and now RT they have sort of pulled back. Joe, settle yourself, son.
Yeah.
Don't be saying silly things like this, you know.
Yeah.
And I just think
But I
that.
swear I did see her on Baywatch.
Well, you
One
know,
like her.
like, I mean, don't get me wrong, Ron. She's good at her job, and I think
course
probably
she is.
I think-
That's why
I
she's
think, yeah,
there.
I think she is good at her job, and if you look at how Sky do it now, I've been watching baseball all week on ESPN, and even how Sky deliver that. You know, if they do even a little bit of that for Gaelic football,
Yeah.
because you know they're going to be bringing different angles into it. They're going to be all you see the stuff. Look, you know, me and you could sit here and do the Sky program.
Oh, yeah.
There's no issue with that. We mightn't be
No.
as good looking as some of the presenters they have.
Well,
but
you are quite handsome, I have to say. You know, you bring a certain Mickey Hart tone to your head area.
Okay, thanks a million, Ron.
No, but
I'm
seriously,
really
that's kinda-
disappointed.
No, but I mean, it's just the way of is that lovely. What is it, Pat? You know, your
Well,
Pat.
you know,
your pate.
you know, but what you see, it's not about you see. Brawley and these boys sort of maybe I think they lose the run on themselves. The presentation isn't about the pundits. The whole thing's about the game. It's about how the players play and how they perform. You know, like I could sit here with Pat Spillane, Joe Brawley, Mickey Hart, and everybody else, and every one of us would have a different opinion.
Would you sit with Pat Spillane? He really hates us.
Ah, no, Pat. Look again.
Honest to goodness, think about it.
Pat's been with RT 21 years.
Yeah.
Now he wasn't with them for 21 years for nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody loves.
So was Bosco.
You know, I know, but we all love Bosco.
I suppose so.
We
I
did,
love
yes.
Pat
And
Spillane.
Pat Spillane, you're in his camp, you're not. And if you don't like him, you're still going to watch him. And if you love him, you're still going to watch him. So you need all those things. Now, Mickey Hart, you know, going back to Mickey, we interviewed a Tyrone guy here on Monday night, and he felt that Mickey Hart is there too long, and Mickey's getting a wee bit, you know. So Mickey comes out last week with the referee and the black card, and then Liam O'Neill criticises Now, I can't understand this. The president of the association criticises a manager for a manager having an opinion on how these new rules are panning in. Now, Mickey Hart, and I don't normally agree with a whole lot Mickey says, but he's absolutely right. There is no consistency in the black card situation. No. You know, to be truthful, Down should have had a man black carded. It didn't happen. And I suppose it's probably wrong with Mickey is because their goalkeeper got black card, he wasn't happy. But the bottom line was the consistency between the two decisions has not been good. And right along from the start, this was always going to happen in the championship. So we're going to see more of the same. Fortunately, we're going to be sitting talking about this next week about some black card incident at the weekend. You watch the hurling, and you wouldn't get a black card for loving the money in hurling. You would hardly get a red card, and it's very seldom you even get a yellow card because the hurlers, there's a sort of a manly thing about the hurlers. They play the way it used to be when a foul was a foul, and if you went down, you were hurt. None of this I'll play act kind of stuff that went on. And there was some of them went on in Oma last week. You know, there was definitely... And
I have a fair idea of what I need to do if I were playing football to get a yellow card. Now, if I'm going out to play a game of football, what need I be aware of in my head to make sure I do not get a yellow card?
For you?
Yeah.
Dead simple. Don't go on the field.
No, but I'm saying to you... if in the hypothetical situation of me going on the field to play a game of football,
well, you see, this...
I would know. I know what gets me a red card. I know what gets me a yellow card. What is the nuance? What is the fine tuning that I need to be aware of? Things not to do to make sure I'm not given a black card.
Well, okay. The rules are specific. You can't take a man a body check. Right, so if you're, say, you pass the ball and I take you out after you pass the ball.
Well, why should that not be a yellow card? It's bad enough to be a yellow card.
It was a yellow card, right? And what they done was they sat down and they decided we need to do something to enhance the football because it was getting very stale. It wasn't football. So they decided we could bring in this black card to free up the game. And McKenna Cup and the National League, the big scores are coming in and God, this is great, this is brilliant. But I just think that the solution they had a couple of years ago when they'd introduced the yellow card for a season, the way it operates in ladies football, and I know you have a sort of a thing about ladies football, but
I love them. But I like them better in ball gowns.
No, but the way they play football and the rules and the forward thinking of them was brilliant. They have the yellow card, and if you do something stupid, and you know, like take for example what the goalkeeper done last week, or what the Down McGinn done last week, that would have been a 10-minute sin bin. So then you put, and the girls know this, if you get somebody in the sin bin, you have like a 10-minute power play, and then you can motive from that. And it's clear, it's dead simple. The black card, the referees are inconsistent. They're not. That's a black card. They're not giving it. They're taking out and they're giving the yellow card. Yeah. And they're shying out of the responsibility.
How should they make that? How should they differentiate? Because if I do somebody in here or a body check somebody. Is it the extent of the body check? Is it the groan on the fellow's face, the way he collapses?
That was the case last week when Sean Cavan went down after Lavery sort of run into him. But look, we could sit here and we could describe a whole lot of situations about what's a black card and what's a yellow card. The bottom line is the referees at this level, they are trained, they know, but I just think that they're not doing what they're supposed to do. Now, I don't know how it's going to pan out. You hear Pat McEnany talking about it. You hear Liam. See, there's one good thing about the GAA. They love positive things. But once you criticise them for something, and they're very conservative, they're very right-wing, and they don't like change too much. So this is a huge change. And once Liam O'Neill sees Mickey Hart complaining about the referee, then he has to jump in and defend the referee. Because another thing about referees, Ron, I just think the referees have built themselves on a pedestal, way up here. When these guys come in, they're like the Mafia Don coming in. Maybe that's not a right description. Coming into the pitch, right?
Thank God I didn't see it.
No, but they come into the pitch. They come in. They arrive in the car. They've got their suits on, and they're walking about. And there's the referees. And they don't talk to anybody. They walk in and they have their couple of umpires and their two linesmen, and they all come in. Maybe it's a package, and they seem to be more important than some of the footballers. And I just think that if the whole thing was a wee bit more relaxed and the referees explained to players, during the match, telling them, don't do this, don't do that. Next time you do that.
More of the rugby thing.
Well,
the respect And even the tough men say sorry.
Yeah, well, you know, the rugby they have it on the nail, but it's a different type of game because rugby is more of a static game than Gaelic football. And it's easier probably to referee. But I just think the respect thing has to be built. And I would say it should be started from the very, very young level and brought up. It is happening in the schools at the minute, there's no doubt about it. And then the referees, like, to be fair to them, they have a tough job. And I mean, I refereed for 23 years, so I know exactly. I don't know how I would cope with the black cards and the yellow cards.
No.
I would probably be akin to the only card I would have been issuing would have been a red card, and that would have been for a very serious offence. You know.
I understand
and then
that.
when I played football, Rowan, a two-man tackle, it was always a free for the man on the ball.
Yeah.
You know, and now there's a four-man tackle or a five-man tackle or whatever. So that's how it pans out. It's going to be it's tough on players because if a player mistimes a tackle, right, you're soloing up the field, and I'm coming in, I'm a defender, and we jink at the last second as I commit myself, and then I hit you, and it looks really bad, but in real terms, it was just a hard tackle, just slightly mistimed with no intent.
Yeah.
There's a strong possibility then that I could be black carded. That's the thing, you know. But I'm sure if Frank McDonald was sitting here, Frank would say, no, these things are very specific. But once the game goes into play, what Frank says is grand. I'm standing up in the stand, I'm watching, I see something from a different angle that maybe you're seeing or Frank's seeing or something like that, and then everybody makes their own opinion on it. So that's how the football's panning out. But
can I say to you and tell the vast audience we have out there across the world, I am in awe of your knowledge, your wisdom, your footballing maturity, and the joy that you bring to us in your many acts of commentary on behalf of Destination Newry. You're a sharp cookie. He's some boy. He knows his stuff. And I'm so pleased to talk to you.
But everybody has an opinion, Rowan, and everybody's opinion is different. I mean, I sit and watch games, and I be going, oh gosh, look at that, and then you stand and listen.
Is that what you say? Oh gosh.
Oh yeah.
If you believe that, you believe anything.
And then you're listening to somebody else, and then you see, because I've refereed for so long, I be looking at the referee, and then there was people saying, look at that referee. They said, what did he do that for? And I mean, the referee maybe is 150% right for doing it. But here's another thing, Ron. Bet you a pound a penny. Everybody watching the match has never read the rules.
Oh yeah, of course.
And all the players have never read the rules.
And none of them know the first thing about ophthalmic opticians. So they're not in a position to roar, ref, you're bloody blind!
Well, you see, the rugby cracked that one too, because who have they got sponsoring the referees? Specsavers.
The fine wine to the end. God bless you. Go well. Take care.